Well, Matt, Jeff Gordon starting pretty deep in the field. He rolls off 25th. Now, Goodyear has brought a new tire combination here to this race, and it has been a challenge to Jeff Gordon. His crew chief, Alan Gustafson, says they are up to the challenge. It's as much mental as anything else, Mike Joy.
Thank you, Steve. Getting underneath Ryan Truex. Whoa, squeeze play with Jeff Gordon there. I think got pretty close right there.
Yeah, that was another close incident. Like I said, those guys just got to get through this traffic fast they can while they got good tires.
And that's for 19th place.
Yeah, no kidding.
But I think that 24 car, Jeff Gordon, he will be a player before this night's out. I know they started deep in the field, as we talked about at the top of the show, back in 25th. I know they've been kind of struggling, like Steve Burns reported, with this tire combination. But I think he's pretty good right now.
Well, one thing I watched about the 24 car when we were talking about where he qualified, where he practiced, his lap times were very consistent. They may not have been the fastest, but it had a race setup look to it.
And for 16th place, Jeff Gordon. And Eric Almirola in the 43. Good battles all the way around the track. Now pole sitter Kyle Larson.
Looking at Jeff Gordon, this 24 car, we've talked about him several times. I think with a good race car and a great pit stop starting 25th, he has now cracked the top 10 up in the 9th position.
Great early run for Jeff Gordon. We asked you to show us.
One of the things that I love about a veteran driver like Jeff Gordon, they use all their resources. Look, he's doing his job. The car's pretty good. Let the crew do their job. Let them gain you a few spots on pit road. That's utilizing all your resources, not trying to do it all yourself.
Steve Burns.
And guys, the update from Jeff Gordon prior to the pit stop. He told Alan Gustafson, he said, I can't carry speed into the corner the way I want. I'm sliding the front end through the center. Jeff Hammond.
And Steve, this is what we're kind of talking about. May have
noted to his team and crew chief Todd Gordon, they felt like the second lane was starting to rubber in and guys were starting to migrate out, which was good for Joey because that's where he was also running. They made just a slight air pressure change. He needed a little more help in the center, but he said the car was good.
Denny Hamlin further back. There's the Hendrick running order with Casey Kane third and Jeff Gordon right behind. Then Dale Jr. and Jimmy Johnson, who started 10th. But Darrell, is it all relative to what the people in front of you and what the people behind you are running?
Well, he's running second. You know? So, how bad is it? It's not bad at all. It could be better. And I'm sure that's what Kevin is saying, and I'm sure that's what Rodney Childers is telling Kevin. Hey, you're running second, dude. You're not that bad off.
Yeah, but what's not better is Jeff Gordon growing larger in Harvick's rear view. Steve?
Yeah, how about that, Mike? He's charged up from 25th. Jeff just saying the car is really good right now. Alan Gustafson said your tires look really good. Real good after that last pit stop. Matt?
Steve, their teammates over on the 88 of Dale Earnhardt Jr. Now, before that competition caution.
Break. But Chris Devoda also pointed out, as we see Jeff Gordon just still continue to move to the front, goes by Kevin Harvick in the 4 for second. Let's go to Krista.
Yeah, Larry, well, Brad Keselowski's crew, they made changes that Brad likes. He said
the outer 10 inches for traction, the inner 2 inches for wear.
I heard that you could tell when it happened, too, and it didn't take but a lap or two.
Steve?
Jeff Gordon said, Mike, that he can really drive his car into the corners well, just a little bit loose off. They've decided not to make any adjustments to that 24. Just 4 tires of fuel, Krista.
Brad Keselowski saying where he's struggling right now is getting into the corner. You see the wrench going into the back of the car. They're going to make an adjustment to help him be able to get into the corner. Meanwhile, for Kevin Harvick, they had gone the wrong way on the adjustments they made last time. This time trying to improve. Matt?
And Dale Earnhardt Jr. said the changes on the last stop, the track bar adjustment, did not free up his 88 machine enough. Made it.
Keselowski.
Yeah, lost 5 spots.
Under caution. Kevin Harvick, Jeff Gordon up front for this restart. Brad Keselowski back at 6th. Here's the comparison between the 2 stops.
Yeah, across the board. It from the right side, Jack left side. It all started right there.
Jeff Gordon, who has struggled. Let's see what Jeff Gordon can do with Kevin Harvick on this restart.
But Gordon has lane choice, and he's on the inside. That's been the preferred lane. And this time, Gordon gets a great restart. Here comes Dale Earnhardt Jr. to the inside of Harvick for second.
Yeah, on the super speedways, the outside line is where you want to be most of the time. On the short tracks, the inside line seems to be a little bit better.
Joey Logano fourth. His teammate Keselowski on the outside, and then light blue Deuce in fourth now from Logano.
Oh, yeah.
127 laps. Jeff Gordon leading Kevin Harvick by 0.6 of a second. Here in Richmond, Jeff Gordon begins to work lap traffic. Kevin Harvick 0.8 back. Clint Boyer falls a lap to the race leader, along with the 30 of J.J. Yeley and the 26 of Cole Witt. Those two cars, the 26 and the 30, were part of Swan Racing. Team majority owner Brandon Davis stopped operations last week but did not want to shut the team down. So minority owner Anthony Marlowe took the 26 with Cole Witt to BK Racing as a third car, while Extreme Motorsports took over the assets of the number 30 team, and J.J. Yeley will drive for them. Parker Kligerman ride hunting right now.
But, you know, talking about him putting Clint Boyer back another lap down, remember that puts now Clint back to 2 laps down. This has to be so frustrating, because I think in the garage area this morning, aside from Kevin Harvick, all fingers were being pointed toward that 15 car.
Keselowski just ahead, and Jeff Gordon, your leader, is a 1.5 seconds ahead of Keselowski right now. There you can see the gap. Whew, as they come
outside lane, it cleans it up. It does put a little rubber in it, and then it becomes useful.
See Jeff Gordon in the 24 car, our leader, putting Michael Annett in that 7 car 2 laps down now. And we had an off week. Jeff Gordon, he didn't really take a complete off week. He took his 6-year-old daughter Ella, and I knew it wouldn't take long, had her in a quarter midget making some laps every off weekend.
A quarter midget is a small open wheel race car for kids to race, much like Jeff himself started. And Jeff and his wife Ingrid, proud parents, big smiles all around, and Ella's car had flames on it.
I know it did. And Mom was smiling. I like it.
Oh,
She
yeah.
must have been pretty happy.
Steve?
Mike, when this run started, Jeff Gordon said he was just a little bit loose coming off the corners. He said now it's gone just a little bit to the tight side. Crew Chief Alan Gustafson keeping him apprised of how many laps he has on this set of tires.
His lead is shrinking a bit. It was a 1.5 seconds. Now it's down to about 1.1 as the leaders work traffic. 141 laps complete. Jeff Gordon in front.
Closing in on 150 laps here at the Richmond International Raceway. Time for the Keystone Race Summary, and Jeff Gordon, who has moved out in front searching for his first win of the season and hanging in there, although being challenged, as you see the number of lead changes and leaders, by Brad Keselowski, who has led the most laps in this race so far, with Michael Waltrip, Chris Myers.
Jeff Gordon's lead over Brad Keselowski now 0.9 seconds. Krista.
Mike, just a few moments ago, you, Larry, Darrell, talking about tire wear. Some teams having wear issues, some not.
Well, the thing I've already been thinking about, Mike, you have to do exactly what Paul Wolfe was telling Brad Keselowski. You have to let him know about the pace that he's running. You have to make him aware.
Jeff Gordon saying I'm getting a little tighter getting in, a little looser getting off, so they'll make an air pressure adjustment and raise the track bar. Krista.
Brad Keselowski was happy with the changes made on that last stop, and the left front changer, Nick Chrismanish, has been practicing to redeem himself from before. Meanwhile, Kevin Harvick said it's way better on the bite. I just need to be able to turn. Matt?
Logano stopped deep in his box. Joey said the car was not as dramatic as far as it being too tight in the center. Chassis adjustment on the 22.
It looked like things went a lot better for Brad Keselowski and that 2 team there, but Alan Gustafson, that 24 team, they are on the mark, on the racetrack, and on pit road.
Yeah, he's coming out of his pit box right at the tail end of the cars coming on pit road to make their pit stop. So great pit selection, getting in, nobody in his way, and hauling Bud out of there.
And you can see the first thing that Alan Gustafson, the crew chief's doing, he's down there looking at those tires, along with some Goodyear engineers as well.
160. Look at today's race action with Sprint. The 15th, but the biggest mover is Jeff Gordon from 25th to 1st. The new Sprint family plan offers up to 10 friends and family, unlimited talk, text, and a gig of data for as little as $25 a month each on the Sprint network. Visit a Sprint store and start your family today. We listened in on Jeff Gordon and team.
Hell yeah, boys. P1. Nice, very nice. Great job, guys. Good work, boys. Getting it done in there. Appreciate it. Yeah, man, the boys are doing the job.
The boys are doing the job. Trust me.
That was spotter Eddie DeHaan. He's from Long Island.
Yep.
All right. Let's get ready to restart. And these restarts have been hairy. With Jeff Gordon, Brad Keselowski up front. Joey Logano's in the dive bomb spot. That's third. Kevin Harvick on the outside in fourth. Jimmy Johnson in fifth. Kyle Busch in sixth. Dale Earnhardt Jr., Casey Kane, Ryan Newman, Carl Edwards. Who will jump out from the inside and try to steal a spot right here as they get to turn one? Wow, 2 by 2, nice and orderly. All the way through turn two into the backstretch.
Yeah, things are working out nice for Jeff Gordon tonight. The inside is the way to go, no question about that. And he's been able to maintain that inside spot. That's made his restarts look really good tonight.
But yet, Darrell, I mean, you pointed out, and it's the obvious in the pre-race, that he has struggled on restarts, but he has been on the game at least tonight on these restarts. But I think up there leading the race on the inside helps the cause.
You know what it looks like, Larry? It looks like they really went low on the air pressure. It's going to take that car. I always think about Jeff Gordon's car as a long-run car. And I bet you that car comes back around to him here before too long.
Last time Jeff Gordon won here, Joey Logano was 9 years old. However, let's go down to the garage area. Jeff.
Fire in. What happened to you all night long? Tell us what happened.
Well, I mean, first of all, I want to say sorry to Kyle. I'm a big fan of his. The kid's been doing a great job, and I hated that happened the first lap. I mean, him and the 2 car kind of spun their tires. I got a big run.
The Penske cars were 1-2, but Jeff Gordon has come battling back. He is a second and a half behind Brad. And then number 24 Chevrolet.
Liberty Mutual mid-race report here in Richmond, Virginia. 10 lead changes so far equals the total for this race for all of last year. Clint Bowyer, rough night, left with his car on fire. Brad Keselowski, Jeff Gordon have led the most laps through the first half. Darrell Waltrip, who are you keeping an eye on?
Look for Jeff Gordon, Larry Mack, to be really tough in the second half of this race.
Yeah, Michael, Jeff Gordon, you know what? He has 2 wins here, but the last time was all the way back in the year 2000. But he may be running second right now. But Krista, he knows what it takes to seal the deal here on a Saturday night.
More than half the laps in tonight's race so far. But since that win, he's not finished better than 14th. Can he seal the deal tonight?
And Mikey's led 4 different times tonight. Jeff Gordon, who came into the night as the points leader, searching for his first win, has maintained the lead off of a couple of restarts, and here he is battling to get the lead back. Now, he hopes that's a good sign for him in the late stages of this race. And Kevin Harvick, who is the only winner twice this year, led early for 23. We're glad you're watching NASCAR on Fox. We're live in Richmond, Virginia, and we'll continue with Jeff Gordon in front of Brad Keselowski, Joey Logano, and Kevin Harvick.
And Jeff Gordon back out front. Brad Keselowski, Jeff Gordon, Kevin Harvick are the 3 leaders of consequence so far. And they run in positions 1, 3, and 4 with Joey Logano in second, 1 second behind the leader.
It wouldn't surprise me to see some issues here over the next 10 laps.
Now we're still about 25 laps before these cars would need to pit for Sunoco race fuel.
Yeah, I would say somewhere around that. That was a huge break for Tony Stewart in the 14 car. He was just about to go a lap down to our leader, Jeff Gordon.
Series. And hey, how about Super Speedway knockout qualifying, which we're going to air live on Fox. You want to be there for that, as well as for the 499-mile race on Sunday. There's a Saturday night concert with Randy Houser and free camping.
Mike, qualifying ought to look like a race. I mean, when those guys go out to qualify, they'll be pushing, bumping, shoving, and drafting.
All right, pit road's open. Steve.
Mike, Jeff Gordon saying his car was almost identical on the last run, a little bit tighter when he was getting in, a little bit looser off. They're going to make a small chassis adjustment. 4 tires for Jeff Gordon, Krista.
Brad Keselowski in saying he was a little bit tighter this run. Meanwhile, Kevin Harvick said that's the best they've been all night. That run, he said they were really good until about 5 to 6 laps ago when they lost rear grip. Matt?
Joey Logano climbed up to 7th before this stop. He said he needs help more on the front of the run where the car will turn better. But then he loses the forward bite on exit, so he needs some help on both ends of the run. Air pressure change for the 22.
But if they're going to beat Jeff Gordon and his crew off pit road, they're going to have to put their work clothes on tonight.
Tell you what, 24 team is nailing it.
And Dale Jr. picked up 2 spots. on pit waves. Jeff Gordon retains the lead.
All right, Jeff Gordon now leading for the fourth different time tonight, trying to win his first race of the year. Restarts. You and Darrell talked about it on the pre-race show. It can often be an issue. So far tonight, he has a restart coming up. But the last two that he handled rather well.
Not only has Jeff Gordon handled it, his pit crews put him right there in that prime spot, Chris. He wants to be on the front row inside, and he takes advantage of that. He takes off here, gets the jump on Brad Keselowski, races hard down into turn one, and that's something that's really important to remember. It's not just that initial launch, but I got to run qualifying type laps through that first turn to clear the outside car.
And you have the choice inside lane. I guess it also matters who is around you when you make that decision.
Well, you have to be aware of all your surroundings. We saw a restart earlier where Jeff Gordon was back in the pack a bit, and Joey Logano right there behind Gordon now took him 3 wide down into the first turn. So as long as Jeff can keep that prime starting spot with Joey up on the outside, I think Jeff has done a nice job so far, proving that he can do the restart deal.
All right, Jeff Gordon, Joey Logano front row, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Kevin Harvick, Brad Keselowski, Jimmy Johnson, Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch, Matt Kenseth, Ryan Newman. Your top 10 as we're back under green at lap 238.
Jeff Gordon says, catch me if you can. I mean, he is taking off, buddy. I tell you, that restart box, he's used every end of it, so both ends of it so far.
But how many times this year, including Darlington 2 weeks ago, has he been absolutely terrible on restarts?
Got nailing them tonight, but everything's working in his favor. He's got the inside line, and that's really, really preferred here at this racetrack.
Once again, it's Joey Logano.
Complete hole there, but he made one.
Yeah, there's an urgency on restarts. Joey Logano has led 1 lap tonight. His first one. Don't think that'll be his last one.
Yes, I have, Mike. I'm down here. This is what a tire looks like, folks. This is what's been going on. This is the cords that have been ripped off the face of these tires when we've seen the problems on the racetrack. And because of this is getting around the brake rotors themselves, which are about 1,000 degrees. This catches on fire. Next thing you know, you've got a lot of the wiring on fire, as well as the nose had been catching on fire. This is a piece of carbon fiber. This is how hot this thing's been getting underneath the hood. And this is what we've been seeing a lot of the fires come from, along with the brake ducts. So there's just so much stuff underneath this car catches on fire whenever this car with this tire starts to unravel, guys.
Yeah, 3 drivers tonight. Jeff Cole Witt, Clint Boyer, and Reed Sorensen have burned down the house.
Yeah, those tires start to come apart. This is like big strings that flying all over the place.
Darrell, just watching Jeff Gordon in that 24 took the lead from Joey Logano on the 22. I think you hit the nail on the head. They are down on the air pressure at the start of run. He loses some gap. They know how much air pressure it's going to build, and I think that's what's making him so good once we get a few laps into a run.
Matt?
Mike, remember we told you on that pit stop, Joey Logano said he needed help on the front end of the run to get the car to turn, and it was almost like flipping a switch. He came on the radio and said the front has now definitely gone, and right about then is when the 24 of Gordon came to life. Now it's just going to hold on to see how much track position he loses till the car starts to come in late in the run.
Yeah, Larry, the 24 car, he's just consistent, man. He's a little quicker than everybody else once they get a little air pressure real quick.
Terrell.
But when you see a guy like Jeff Gordon that's kind of running as consistent as he is and not having any trouble, that puts a lot of pressure on everybody else. What do we got to do to run as good as he is? Because we're not going to beat him if we don't come up with something pretty quick.
Back in 11th, Jeff Gordon now in front of Joey Logano by 1.6 seconds.
The trouble.
Not his tire.
Because if you pit under the green, then you're going to lose a couple of laps and your chance of winning is pretty slim.
Well, there's a lot of unpredictability in these last 115 laps. Look at that stat. We're at lap 287. The last 4 Richmond winners did not lead until after this point in the race. Who was not led tonight? How about second place Dale Earnhardt Jr., 5th place Casey Kane.
Jimmy Johnson in the 48, he was about to get lapped by his teammate Jeff Gordon, so I think because of that reason and also what he was feeling, he has now hit pit road to change those 4 Goodyear tires.
Yeah, they just couldn't chance it.
Steve.
Yeah, and guys, Kyle Busch in the 18 car said several laps ago that he could see cords coming out of the rear of that car. They just could not stay on the racetrack any longer.
Now we'll be at 56 laps of green 5 laps from now.
Which is what we ran the last green flag.
Call by Jimmy Johnson. He stayed as long as he could. He came in before it blew out. Great call.
Krista?
You see Carl Edwards coming in, the call for 4 tires. He said, I just couldn't hang on. Carl, one of the cars who said he would be a second half car. This is when he thought he would get better throughout the race, but his car's just not turning as well, and he had to come in for those 4 fresh tires.
Tell you what, he came in an ace of sliding all the way through his pit box. He nailed it right on the money, but he was so close to that front line.
Now, Larry, they can't make it from here. If anybody runs out a fuel run or tire run here, can they go with just one stop?
Yeah, if we can make it to lap 308 or 310, which is what the fuel window would be, then yes, if they go that far, then we could possibly go to the end there. But I think we're on borrowed time right now as far as a caution coming out.
And I do too, Mike. I think you'd be going so slow that I don't know that it would pay off. Maybe, but it'd be a gamble, look to me like.
Jeff Gordon has led 145 laps, and I like the race he's running. When his car goes off and people come and challenge, he doesn't fight them. He races and drives whatever car the car will give him. But I haven't seen him tonight try to take too much.
No, he's driven a very smart race. We saw him fall back early. I think this team is really on it. This car for the last several weeks has been a long run car. We've seen him struggle a bit on restarts. We've seen him get passed by some cars early in a run, but once they run 15, 20 laps, here he comes.
There we go. We just had
Car on
one.
the wall.
Yep.
And that is Ricky Stenhouse. Caution is out. Car is no longer a Roman candle, and Ricky will rejoin the race, and pit road opens. Jeff Gordon will lead them in. Here's Steve.
And Mike, he just said the adjustment you gave me the last time gave me good overall grip, but I'm just a little bit tight, particularly getting into 3. They're going to make a track bar adjustment and 4 tires, Chris Devoto.
Similar situation for Brad Keselowski, going back on an adjustment that helped him earlier in the race. Paul Wolfe putting Wedge back in the car because Brad has had no rear grip. Matt?
Krista, back on lap 280, Dale Jr. moved up to second, but he said over this run, the brake pedal has certainly faded on and off throughout the run. There was concern there. Meanwhile, you saw the chassis adjustment on the 22 of Joey Logano. His car.
This restart, because the 24 has had the preferred line, the bottom down here, and he's made some awesome restarts. Let's see how he does on this one.
They are teammates, but no team orders. Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Jeff Gordon bring them off turn 4 for the restart, and they both got a good launch.
You look at Jeff Gordon, though, in the 24 car. We have seen this the last 2 or 3 restarts. After they get going, he falls back a little bit, and then it seems like it comes back to him. I just don't know if that's going to be good. They're going to have to make some adjustments for that, especially if we get into the late in the race.
Oh, yeah, if we have a late restart here or a late caution and that happens to you, then obviously you can't win the race. And we've seen that with this car a few times this year. California comes to mind.
Only 2 cars in the Joey Logano, who drives the Penske Ford, first time he's ever led at Richmond in 11 starts, from his teammate Brad Keselowski in second in the number 2, and Jeff Gordon in 3rd. A car that we know is good the longer the green flag stays out and we get into a run.
Yeah, I haven't heard of Jeff Gordon having any tire problems tonight. I mean, he's been solid on his tires. Cautions have been falling just right. Things are going his way tonight. It's looking pretty promising for Jeff Gordon.
So Gordon is 3rd, 0.8 of a second off the lead. Behind him is his Hendrick Chevy teammate Dale Earnhardt Jr. 1.5 seconds back. Matt?
Mike, 2 firsts for Dale Earnhardt Jr. tonight. Number 1, they did show some cording on the right front on the previous run. Also, Junior says now no changes on that last stop, which was the first time for tonight, but now he's feeling that brake pedal starting to fade again, just like on that previous run. Steve Letarte has told him to reset and turn the
Mark Truex Jr. only 2 finishes inside the top 20, but we keep watching Jeff Gordon at 24. He's better right now as far as lap times. Joey Logano, the leader, and Brad Keselowski in this too.
And they are catching Logano, who's about to get into a pack of traffic.
Brad's not going to just roll over and let him go. It's getting too late in the race now. He's going to race Jeff Gordon pretty hard. But while he's doing that, here comes Dale Jr. looking on the inside here. He's going to try to make the pass.
Yeah, and Joey Logano in that 22, our leader, is getting into some heavy lap traffic as well.
I think this, again, based on what I'm seeing on our monitor here, lap times, that 24 car is the most consistent car. Dale Jr. has a quicker lap every now and then, but Gordon is so consistent.
And it looks pretty clear that if this race ends on a long green flag run, Jeff Gordon is the driver to beat. First top 5 finish of 2014. 64 laps to go on short track Saturday night. And here is the lead change. Jeff Gordon catches Joey Logano, and watch him use this lapped car, the 33, as a pick, denying Logano both the bottom lane, while the 33 clogs the top lane. David Stremme, and Gordon drives on by.
But I think right now, as far as the long run, the 2 best drivers, the 2 best cars, the 2 that's up there running first and second, Jeff Gordon and Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Yeah, and I think we're at a point in this race where you just say, look, I don't want to hear about any tire problem. We got to go.
Darrell, look at that pass for the lead by Jeff Gordon. He did not battle Logano for the lead. He waited until he could set the 22 up, pin him in, and take the lead without abusing his tires or his race car.
That's smart. That is, it's a battle for 6 right here. But that's what I've seen with Jeff Gordon all night long. He just lets it come back to him.
Yes.
They maybe get out there a little bit on him, but he just lets them back up to him.
Gordon pulling up on Danica Patrick, who is 34th, 4 laps down.
And Mike, when the 24 gets in the lead like he is now, he just drives off. I mean, he leaves everybody in their dust, in his dust.
Well, for Jeff Gordon, that needs to come sooner rather than later, because it took him 39 green flag laps to pass Brad Keselowski after the 4th caution, and it took him 34 laps to work his way to the lead after this most recent caution. $50 laps to go in Richmond. Jeff Gordon leading the Sprint All-Star Race, coming to Fox Sports 1 Live May 17th. The Sprint fan vote is on. Vote for your favorite driver, be Jeff Gordon and Dale Earnhardt Jr.
All right, pace yourself now. We only got to worry about Dale at the moment. They take off so fast, but they are stopping in the middle of the corner right now to get turned. I hear you, bud. I hear you. Yeah, if it comes to a short run, I'm going to have to fix that stuff up. You know you'll have him in the long run. Just be patient. He'll come to you.
But now, well, things are changing. Matt Kenseth moves into 2nd place ahead of Dale Jr. 1.7 seconds off the lead. Scanning both ends of the racetrack to see what might happen next to put us under caution.
We're going to have a new leader here in just a second, guys. That 20 car, Matt Kenseth, I don't know what he's done, but he's got 2/10 quicker that lap than Jeff Gordon, and he is there. He's ready to pounce on Jeff Gordon.
Entering turn 3, Kenseth sends it in deep, picks up another car length. Off turn 4, loses a bit of ground to Gordon, and down the front straightaway as Jeff Gordon steps it up under pressure from the number 20 Toyota.
Yeah, I mean, this is the guy. Matt Kenseth won 7 races last year. He's winless so far this year. It's only a matter of time until he starts clicking off some wins, and tonight it might be the first of them.
Kenseth appears better on corner entry, Gordon at corner exit.
Matt's driving hard right now, Mike. I've been watching him, and you're right. He drives into the corner much harder. Gordon is using that good forward bite to his advantage, but I think he's going to have to step it up if he's going to stay ahead of Matt Kenseth in that 20 car.
Fox Track showing you the distance between them.
See right there. Look at that. Look at him close. Matt really drives in the corner much harder than Jeff.
But now they've caught traffic, and that adds another dimension to this battle for the lead.
Well, I've been watching the 20, and he's awfully good in traffic.
This will be a short run. Jeff Gordon cannot suffer the symptoms that he's had of falling back after we get a restart.
No, what Jeff Gordon needs is one of those lightning fast pit stops to get the inside on the restart if he could. A couple of things I want to be watching, the 24 down here to see if he can get another one of those fast stops, and the 55 who's had a little bit of problem in the pits here right now. And what a shame, he's running 3rd. They need to nail this stop.
And we've talked about what a long run car Jeff Gordon has, that it takes him several laps, more laps than other cars, to get the car really right after a restart and get going. What can they do differently now so that he can just take off and scoot?
put that little more air in the tires. I think that's probably been the secret for them to have the long run car they've had. So you don't go crazy. You don't put 5 pounds more in air in the tire, but you bring the tires up a little bit, help him get going a little quicker.
Or if the balance has been off the first few laps, maybe even Alan Gustafson can make a chassis adjustment to compensate for what it's been off.
Or maybe a piece of tape on the nose to plant the nose a little better.
All right, pit road is open for the lead lap cars. Steve?
And the 24 will make a chassis adjustment for Jeff Gordon. They're going to put the track bar back down. Now, meanwhile, Brian Vickers in the 55, he said, I could use a little bit more side bite, but don't let me hit the splitter. Matt.
Best chance all year for Kenseth to score his season's first win. Jason Ratcliffe said, guys, do not beat ourselves. Good, solid stop. The car started out free on that run. Dale Jr. still complained about losing the brake pedal. Letarte told him, be careful that you're not maybe riding the brake down the straightaways. Both cars are away. Who's going to win the battle off pit road, Mike?
Wow, it's close, and there was almost some paint traded right there. But it's Kenseth out in front of Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Jeff Gordon.
Jeff Gordon was going to go off second. He stopped to get in third where he can restart on the inside. What a move he made right there.
I saw the same thing. He stopped to let Dale Jr. go by.
He wanted to restart on the inside.
During our race day show, Larry, you and I stood down in that spot, and we talked about on the last restart, you want to be first, third, or fifth.
And he knew that right here. You can see he's going to go by Dale Earnhardt Jr. He's second right now.
Steve?
Before the stop, Mike, Jeff Gordon said, if I can start on the inside, I'm going to win this race.
And there you're going to see he's going to go off third, so he'll be on the inside of the second row.
The old cagey veteran, Jeff Gordon.
29 laps and lots of action to come. And Jeff Gordon in third might be in the next best position. With Joey Logano on the outside. Now we're going to add 1 lap and get the lineup squared away.
You know what, Mike? If Jeff Gordon, you remember the start of this race? The guy in third place drove down underneath the guys that were in front there, caught the 42 car. Just watch that 24 car on this restart if he's on his game like he has been all night.
Let's go back to the pit stop for Jeff Gordon.
He's pitting way down toward the entrance of pit road, so he's well done with his pit stop. Gets a good launch out of his pit box.
And spotter Eddie DeHaan is telling him where he is in relation to the other cars that are coming out.
Get ready.
They'll pull out.
Get ready.
Right here, and since he can't win the race off pit road, which ends there, he hits the brakes to come out third. How about that? On the outside and maybe Jeff Gordon on the inside. Here we go. 25 to go.
Boy, Matt Kenseth almost anticipated Jeff Gordon in the 24, maybe dive bomb him. He drove to the inside going down the front stretch.
Yeah, and I tell you, Jeff Gordon had that. He had a thought about going down in there 3 wide, but he knew better. And guess what happened to Jeff Gordon in that little foray? He went from the inside to the outside.
And not the outside of row 1.
No, not the outside of row
2.
That's right.
Oops.
So his little plan worked good until that restart. Other than Jeff Gordon's have a pretty dominant car, but there have been a lot of people that have been up there with him.
We're about to find out. 18 laps to go. Kenseth, Earnhardt, Logano, Gordon.
Whoa, Logano didn't go.
Logano spins his tires.
He went nowhere. And Dale Jr.'s trying to look under the 20. Can he get under? No, he couldn't get there.
And look at
Allgaier up toward the wall and in the wall.
And he was running so well.
Keselowski rattling the back bump in the yellow 22. Restarting third.
Just didn't do a good job here. You can see right there when he nailed the throttle, the car just spun the rear tire. He almost spun the thing out. And Newman thought about it but changed his mind.
Newman with nowhere to go as they all bottled up right there and got 3 wide off the corner. Let's ride with Ryan Newman on that restart. Kyle Busch came in after he had kissed the wall in the back straightaway.
Jeff Gordon's in the right spot again. He's in the third spot this time, so he's back where he wanted to be this time.
Here's some audio from Joey Logano and team.
20 car brake checks the whole field.
I don't know. I guess I just saw the 22 left rear tire look soft, but they're probably on just real low air.
Kenseth Earnhardt, Gordon Logano, Keselowski, Newman.
That definitely was a snooker that time.
And I tell you what, Jeff Gordon got a great restart. He pulls to the inside of Kenseth.
Couldn't make the pass. 3 wide behind him. Big shuffle. Keselowski coming on the inside for third. Logano behind him. Dale Jr. stuck on the high side with Ryan Newman, and all the way up high, 3 wide around turn 2 comes Kyle Busch in the 18.
With 4 fresh Goodyear tires. He pitted that last time.
You just watch that 24 car. He's all over the back of Matt Kenseth. Matt's going to have to drive perfect laps here because Gordon is ready to pounce.
Logano gave Earnhardt Jr. a little nudge in turn 2, and Logano moves to 4th. So it's Joe Gibbs, Rick Hendrick, and the 2 Penske cars.
Uh-oh, here comes that blue 2.
To the outside.
He's coming on the outside. He's there. He's going to get them both off turn 2.
Yeah, Kenseth did not get off turn 2 good at all, and Keselowski got a great bite up there up on the top side.
Mike says I can make up for that going into 3.
6 to go.
Woohoo!
Kevin Harvick backing up. Dale Jr. under fire from the 18. 6 to go.
Keselowski lights that outside off of 2. He's there again.
Boy, Kenseth's going to have to make that number 20 awful wide to hold both of them back.
Yeah, and here comes a teammate of the 22. This thing is getting good, boys.
Yeah, he can't open the bottom because Jeff Gordon in that 24 car, he'll pounce.
Matt Kenseth playing defense.
Here he goes.
Joe
He's
Gibbs.
there.
They're both there. But
Gordon.
Keselowski has the spot on the outside.
Gordon had to check up. He bumped into the back of Matt, and that allowed the 2 to get to the outside. But here comes the 22 on the bottom.
Yeah, Matt Kenseth almost got in too deep. He's going to pay the price.
Whoa, hang on to her, buddy. That 2 car was all over the place.
He almost got turned around as his teammate Logano guns for the lead and takes Gordon with him.
Logano goes to the lead.
And Jeff Gordon is there. He is under and past Matt Kenseth.
Whoa! The 2 just gave the 20 a huge shot.
And your points leader, Jeff Gordon, who thought he led the most laps tonight. 173 of the most laps. It lasted the entire season last year. He didn't lead the most laps in a race. Disappointment for him. Let's check in with Chris Devoda.
Another great run for Jeff Gordon. Great car and fantastic on restarts tonight. Unfortunately, not the win, but another great run.
Well, you know, that's the restarts are something that we're, really adamant about this year because it was definitely hurting us last year. And tonight we really didn't have a good short run car. We had a really good long run car, or about 40, 50 laps. It was the best car out there. I had a blast tonight. Great short track racing here at Richmond, and to have a race car like that to drive from 25th up to the front like that was so much fun. And Joey was in the right place there. He had a good short run car, and we were battling it out. Matt was making his car really super wide, and which you got to do to try to win. And we were just battling hard, and it just didn't come down the way that we needed it to. We needed a little bit longer run, but thanks to Drive In Hunger and Pepsi Max, everybody at Exalta, Chevrolet, we're having so much fun right now. Valvoline, and just can't thank this team enough for their incredible effort. Pit stops, I mean, everything. We're just showing up at the racetrack with cars capable of winning. It's just a matter of time before we do win.
Yeah, just a matter of time, and that win is coming for sure.